Hi, this is Lisa Loves to Crochet and Knit. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute little googly-eyed dog, or schnauzer, because that's the kind of dog I have. So you're going to start with a pair of googly eyes, and I have purchased animal noses. I bought these a long time ago. I think I bought them at Joann's. And so they have like a nose and a little back ring to click it to it. And it looks like they are 21 millimeters, the size it is. And you're going to need a crochet hook, a size H, a nail file or emery board that has a point, a tapestry needle, and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. Oh, some hot glue if you want to help a stronger attachment of the whiskers. And let's get started. Now this one I did with eyebrows, and this one I did without eyebrows. So you can do whatever you choose, change it up, make it your own. So let's get started. I'm going to start with gray, and I'm going to use the light gray, and I'm going to start with a magic loop. And I'm going to start with chaining 1, and then I'm going to do 8 half double crochets in the loop. You can see the back. I got to put some felt around it to protect it. And so I'm going to start with 8 half double crochets. Okay, so I completed that row, and I'm going to slip stitch it to the beginning, that round, and I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to do, I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do a double crochet in that same stitch, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And then in the next stitch, I'm going to attach the googly eyes, the back loop facing, and I'm going to do a single crochet to attach, because otherwise you get a loop, and I don't like that loop. So I'm going to single crochet around both those loops, and I'm going to half double crochet in that same stitch. So there's going to be 2 stitches there. Whoops. And then in the next one, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets as well. And around the googly eyes. Whoops. This yarn is breaking on me. Okay. There's my 2 double crochets in each of those stitches and around the googly eyes. And then I'm going to start, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then I'm going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning, chain 1. So you can see it starting to take its shape. And then, so I've done 2 rows here, and now I'm on this third row of the schnauzer face. And we are going to do 2 double crochets in one stitch and 1 double crochet in the next. So I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do a double crochet in that same stitch that I just came out of, and then 1 in the next stitch, and then 2 in the next. And then I'm going to continue until I get to this eye part right here, and then I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I've completed that round up until then to the eyes. And see, I have one more stitch right there that I can put 2 double crochets in, so I'm going to do that. Whoops. And it's a little tight to go in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this tiny, tiny little stitch that's around the eye. And I'm going to go in behind in the next one and put 2 double crochets in that stitch. And so I'm behind the eyes. And then in the next, I'm going to kind of pull it across there and go in right there in the front of this one. So I've done that, and then the next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So I'm still repeating my pattern. I just changed it slightly to go around the eyes. So I'm going to continue to finish the pattern all the way to the beginning of the round. Okay, so I completed the pattern all the way around, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to pull up a knot, and I'm going to cut my working yarn. And so there's the face of the schnauzer, and he's kind of oblong. He's not exactly solid round. I'm working on this next row that's behind the eyes. So you can see this row right here is what I'm going to be working on. And so I'm going to start double crocheting all the way across here. So I'm going to start on the front with its facing, the eyeballs facing you. And I'm going to start with a double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to start to do this back part of the schnauzer with the ears, to start with the ears. And you can see that I'm going to have them evenly spaced behind the ears, behind the eyes, sorry. So I'm going to start here, and I need 8. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker where I need to stop. I'm going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to start to attach it with a single crochet, and I'm going to take the end and I'm going to weave over my end. So there's my single crochet, there's my chain 1. So that starts as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to do 1 more double crochet in that same stitch. And then I'm going to double crochet in each of these stitches behind until I get to the center behind the eyes, and I'm going to put 2 more extra double crochets in there. So I'm going to put 2 extra in this little stitch right here. And then I'm going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next ones until the stitch marker. So that completes that row. And then I'm going to chain 2. Okay, now I'm going to do 1 ear first. So I've chained 2. I'm going to flip my work behind, and I'm going to go in that same stitch, that first one, and I'm going to do a double crochet decrease. So there's that one. The next stitch I'm going to do a double crochet, and in the next stitch I'm going to do a double crochet. So these are going to be all your stitches across here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So there's half of my ear, and there's half of my ear. So then these stitches are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here is going to be the other ear. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to continue back. And I'm going to start with a double crochet decrease. So I'm going to decrease that stitch, and then I'm going to do another double crochet decrease. And then I'm just going to do another double crochet. So then I'm going to chain 2, whoops. And then I'm going to do a decrease in each all together. It's actually, I'm going to decrease them all, together. And so there's going to be 3 loops on your hook, actually 4. And I'm just going to do them all together, chain 1, cut my work in yarn, and so there's one ear. Now the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with a slip knot, and I'm going to attach it to that chain 1 space, and I'm going to work over my yarn tail. So I'm going to start with a single crochet and a chain 1, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next, double crochet in the next. Whoops. Okay, so I've completed that row, and I've just done 1 double crochet in each of those stitches. So there's a total of 5 double crochets for that row. And then I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and then I'm going to double crochet in that same stitch that I just came out of, and I'm going to do a decrease. A double crochet decrease, and then in the next one I'm going to do another decrease, and then the next one I'm going to do another double crochet decrease. So then I'm going to chain 2, turn my work back to the facing part, and I'm going to do a double crochet decrease, but I'm going to do it in all 3 of those stitches across the top again. So then I end up having 4 little loops on my hook, and I'm going to tighten them. I'm going to chain 1. Oops. I'm going to tighten that. And then I'm going to weave in my ends. Okay, and so now I'm going to get a nose. And I'm just going to take one of those noses out of the bag. Okay, and so there's my nose, and then I'm going to take some white yarn, and I'm going to cut a length of it, and I stick that in between 2 of my fingers, like so, and then I take the end of the other white yarn and I wrap it around my hand 10 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so then I cut that yarn, and then I take the end and I just make a knot. So I'm gonna, it's kind of like the beginning of a little pom-pom. It's hard to do it with one hand. Just took it out. Okay. Whoops. And I'm gonna knot that. Knot it. And then sometimes I take it and double it around. So I knot it twice. And that finds that I make it extra tight in there. Okay, so then I'll just take the long ends, even though one of them is to the goatee. So I'll move that one over. And then I pull the loops tight with my scissors, and then I snip them. Whoops. Okay, so there's my goatee, and then I take my little nose and I put them right in front of the googly eyes. Push them right through there, and then I just snip it to the first one so it's not too tight in there, so I can still get my thumb underneath there. And then I take my goatee and I kind of Give it a little snug underneath that nose. And then you can leave it like this and just trim it. Or I usually will do and just glue the goatee on. Or I will take the little ends of the long length that I tied the goatee together with, and I come back here and I weave it in between some of these stitches. So it has some added security, so it stays there. And then I end up putting a little dab of glue underneath there. So there's my one end. And then sometimes I even go through the center of where I came out of in there. So it has a little bit more strength to it. And then I will put a little dab of glue, but not until I finished making the goatee look like a goatee. And so what I do is so he's centered on there. Okay, so I take my nail file and I just start taking it through the yarn. Now be careful, because you remember it's open end. So you'll pull the other one through if you pull it too hard. So you have to keep your thumb on there. And so you just put your nail file in between those. I think there's 5 little things that's twisted around. And so the more you do, you can even rub your nail file against it and make it a little more like fuzzy. So like really it's up to you how much you want the whiskers to be. You could leave them the way they were and not do this. But this part is it's a little time consuming, not too much. It's not like it's a huge amount of work. And then for the eyebrows, so that concludes that. And then for the eyebrows, I just took a little length, not very much, of my white yarn, and I just cut them to match, and I only did one, and I put them around these loops here. So I just basically just looped it up and then pulled both of those through, and that's how I made the eyebrows. And then of course I did the same thing, but I only did 4 on each side of the eyes. So then, but I'm not putting eyebrows on this one, but that's what I did for the eyebrows, and I just worked on those. So if you want to keep going, I'll see you when I'm done with the whiskers. And there you have it. I have a googly-eyed little schnauzer, little dog puppy. You can have the ear folded over and one ear straightened up. You can have them both folded over. Whatever, but they're very cute, and I'm still waiting for my felt to go around that I ordered from Amazon, so that it has extra protection around that. But there you have it. Some cute little googly-eyed dogs. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.